Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. What if I told you that your gold and silver could be confiscated from your own home in order of the US president? Then what if I told you it's already happened on multiple occasions? This video explains the reasons and explanations behind the confiscation of one's precious metals and the possibility of it happening again. So with that said, let's jump right into it. Gold and silver have real value, and with that comes power. The higher-ups want that power for themselves and don't want the everyday people investing heavily into precious metals for these exact reasons. Limitations were capped on the amount of gold and silver one could own in jewelry and bullion form, having to report a 1040 and a 1099 on taxes, claiming the specific amount of gold you own. They're trying to control the market internally and externally. In 1933, President Franklin D. Roosevelt, using the Trading with Enemy Act of 1917, issued an executive order on April 5th requiring that less than 1 month later on or before May 1st, all persons in possession of gold coin, gold bullion, and gold certificates to turn them into any Federal Reserve Bank or member bank of the Federal Reserve System. Now, this was a real order put into action, and Australia actually did the same thing in 1959. Now, there has to be some context and reasoning behind this. There was a lot of misconceptions and rumors about this when it was going on, so I'm going to share what I found about this entire situation, also the points behind it. Now, there is simply no element of compulsion that can be employed to make anyone, any citizen, turn in any type of gold, bullion, or jewelry, especially if the coin is legal tender. When FDR was going to be getting all this gold, he devalued the dollar by 59%. He also raised the price of gold from $20.60 an ounce to $35 an ounce. In 1971, President Nixon actually raised the price of gold to $38 an ounce, and in 1973 was raised to $42 an ounce. But let's look at that stat for a minute. In 2011, the price of gold per troy ounce jumped at one point above $1,900, yet the entire American gold reserve of 8,133 tons, roughly 261 million troy ounces, is officially valued at $42.22 an ounce. That makes the American official gold reserves of gold about 11.019 billion, clearly an artificially low figure. So, this is something I want to talk about because we're talking about fiat currency and gold. Back in the day, our fiat currency was backed by actual gold. But after 1965, our constitutional silver wasn't in the works anymore. All of our money was printed out and to be basically pumped into a system trying to replace our debt with more debt. So nowadays, our fiat currency system is crumbling. The dollar's lost 98% of its purchasing power due to hyperinflation. Now, back in the day, when our money was actually backed by something with real value, you could see how it was somewhat functional. Systematically, it would work. It could have worked. Donald Trump has actually jokingly talked about bringing back the gold standard, but we're too deep in a hole now. So, for the government to do this, it's a huge power play. They are seeing the potential in gold, but they also fear gold as well. It actually mentions that later on in the article. With that much power and that much value at play, this was the government's opportunity and chance to take some of it back. If people have this much potential and opportunity in their own hands, it could be dangerous for the government, especially nowadays since fiat currency isn't backed by gold anymore. Hence why they said even turn in your gold certificates. This is something that people, I think, overlook nowadays. Historically, it was more relevant, but even back then, there was a lot of misconceptions and myths and rumors being spread about it. Now, you also heard that it shot down the dollar 59% when he collected all that gold, which is interesting because we still see the same types of moves going on in today's world. Hence, right now, as we speak, since the dollar is stronger, gold and silver prices are actually weakening, which is interesting because gold is somewhat pegged to the dollar. I mean, spot price. I mean, look at spot price. It still has a fiat currency attached to it. There's a value attached to it. But gold and silver have intrinsic value, which means the value inside of the coins is where the real money lies. That's where the real store of trade is. That's where, the uses for gold come into play, not from the fiat currency dollar or value attached to it, but from the metal content inside of it. The governments know this. The banks know this. Why do you think central banks own so much gold? It's not used as currency anymore, so there's no point for them to have it, but they own a lot of it. It's because they fear it, because they know the value at stake, and they know that their fiat currency, quote unquote, dollars, aren't really value at all. There's no real reason to be using this as a tradable currency, especially exchanging with other countries, because all it is a basically a piece of paper promising that that banknote is worth X amount of dollars, with no real value backing it up or no real use for that piece of paper. Where gold and silver is the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity and electricity, widely used in the technological world, especially the way we're advancing in all the gadgets and cell phones and electronics. We're going to need more and more and more gold and silver as we move forwards. So this is real tradable currency that has a real purpose in the world, especially looking at the dollar, $24 trillion in debt we are. The dollar's lost 90% of its purchasing power, so it's not like we have much to offer even when we are trading our dollars, even with the richest country in the world. So can you see why they could be putting something like this into act or into play? But also in the article it states that this was no way even having to be used as a real solution, because nobody has to actually turn in their gold or silver. It's not like they're going to come knocking on your door and, going to your safe and popping it open and just running out with all your gold. That's illegal, and there's no way possible that could ever happen. But he did order it to happen. Now I want to talk about the married men, the single men, divorced wives, all this stuff that comes into play, and how much you're actually allowed to own in gold and silver. Now, if you thought that was interesting, check this out. The CBDT issued a clarification on December 1st, 2016. It reiterates the earlier directions issued to income tax officers in connection with seizure of gold jewelry and gold ornaments at the time of income tax rate, which was issued on 11/05/1994. It specifies that a married lady is allowed to keep up to 500 grams of gold jewelry, an unmarried lady can hold up to 250 grams, and a male member of the family can keep up to 100 grams of gold ornaments and or jewelry. Under the above specified limit, it includes both inherited and purchased gold jewelry. Even if you don't have a supporting document for the above amount of gold jewelry, it will not be seized. However, it does not include gold coins and bars. The gold coins and bars can be seized even if it is within the limit specified above. This limit does not include the gold that you may be holding on behalf of someone else. So if there's a raid at your place and you're holding on the gold of your relatives or friend, then this gold will not be included in the above limit and may be seized. For instance, if there are 4 members in your family, 1 married female, 1 unmarried female, 1 married male, and 1 unmarried male, then the total amount of gold that will not be seized amounts to the married female 500 grams, the unmarried female 250 grams, the married male 100 grams, and the unmarried male 100 grams. Total 950 grams. This is absolutely incredible and ridiculous at the same time, that they could lawfully or legally come in and take your gold even if it's not yours, if it's a relative or a friend's, and even if it goes or is under the capped amount. This is what I'm talking about when I'm mentioning the power at play and how they do not want people to find precious metals as a serious investment only for decoration, decorative purposes, ornaments, or jewelry. When it comes to the real side of investing, they don't want people to be purchasing lots of gold and silver because they understand that it could risk or put fear or put their fiat currency in danger. And this is extremely important to understand. So here's the conclusion. Here's the bottom line. There are powerful interests that don't want you to seriously invest into gold. They want your investments in different areas, different directions. The same is true if you want to buy gold coins or bullion. It may be that this gold seizure talk or fear of it is how they influence your investments into other areas. They don't want you to see the truth, but hopefully you guys do. Hopefully you guys see the value of a dollar where it lies, and also the value of precious metals and where they lie. Understanding what the real value of a dollar is worth is extremely important. Just because you can buy something doesn't mean you can afford it. Separating your wants versus needs, understanding the true value of a dollar, understanding what intrinsic value means, understanding how to learn what potential is, where assets, where markets move, and why they move, when they will move, and what's making them move is extremely important. It's critical to be an investor. It's investing 101. Precious metals has changed my life. It's taught me patience. It's taught me awareness. It's taught me how markets move. It's taught me the economy, the society behind it, perspective, and much more. And I hope you guys are finding the same benefits and the same things as I am in my investing journey. But anyways, I do want to wrap this video up here. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to smash that like button. I want this message to be spread. Support channels like this that are making content, making educational videos, informational videos, sharing the history, sharing the importance that lies within precious metals and what they stand for. This can save someone's life financially, but also literally as well. The government does not want you guys to know this type of information. I don't want to be one of those tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist channels, but this is real information that's actually important. And I think a lot of people will actually find it pretty interesting as well. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. I'm curious what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think they will ever try to confiscate your gold and silver? And if so, what would be the major outliers or the major factors influencing this decision? And would you be up for this cause? I'm curious. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe. I post daily videos, so stay tuned for more videos. Today I'll post some other really good ideas. I have some really fun educational, informational, and entertaining videos up ahead, so stay tuned for those videos as well. But anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. This was Silver Slayer. I will see you guys soon. Peace.